thank you so much, viewers, for joining us on this show, Focal Point. Focal Point is where we discuss political activities, things that are happening within and around us. My name remains Emenike Rebu, the anchor of this show, Focal Point. Today, we have a respected Nigerian, a Nigerian that have traversed the world, a respected clergy in Nigeria, also in the world. We have someone that have served in different capacities in this country. He has served the government of President Olusegun Obasanjo as an advisor. He has been involved in interfaith activities trying to bring peace in Nigeria. He has been involved in so many missions abroad in trying to bring peace to the world, and also been involved in so many social services. With me this afternoon is Bishop Sunday Ndukwo Onuoha, the ADC governorship candidate for Abia State. Bishop, your Lordship.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers.
Thank you.
So nice to be with you.
Thank you very much, sir. We deeply appreciate it. We are always assure you that we'll bring you premium content. We'll bring you the people that matter in the society who would actually give us information that we all need. Bishop, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Bishop, the governorship or the political activities is heating up, and fortunately you emerged as the governorship candidate for African Democratic Congress a few weeks back, and your activities have been upbeat. We've been hearing what you are doing, so we want to thank you so much for this opportunity to interact with you.
Thank you.
But going straight to the discussion, sir, we have a lot of people who are aspiring to be governor or who are aspiring into one elective position or the other. And most time you find them wanting because they were spoiled to come and run. They were told to come and run. They were cajoled to come and run. We want to know, why exactly are you running for the position of Abia State governor, considering the height you've gotten and considering the challenges in leadership? Why?
Oh, thank you very much. I decided and accepted to run because they go both ways. If you decided to run and there are no responsible people behind and with you, then it's just mere wishes. I decided, I consulted, I prayed, and I felt this is the time to give a new look, a new perspective to the governance and leadership of Abia. Abia is such a wonderful state, 17 local governments with great persons and people and mineral resources. Abia has had once a businessman that was the governor of Abia in the person of Ojozo Kalu, wonderful businessman. And after him was the technocrat, civil servant, in the name of Theodoji, Chief Senator Theodoji, and Ojozo Kalu, Senator too. And after both of them, we have the current governor, who is an academician, and he's making his own contribution. And so, Bishop Sunday Onuoha is a wonderful businessman, and I'm a great businessman, and I'm a wonderful technocrat, and an academician. But there's something I have that distinguishes me. I'm a man of God, coupled with all those. And so, Abia is God's own state. Let's hand over God's own state into the hand of the servant of God, and let's see the difference.
Yes, Bishop Onuoha just said that one thing that distinguishes him at this moment is that the man of God, and it will be good to hand over the God's own state to the hand of a man of God to see how to pilot and add more value to what we are doing in this state. Okay, Bishop, of course, you have been involved in so many layers of leadership. You have been at the presidency advising the president, former president of Nigeria. You've been a man that have employed hundreds of people into different of your organizations, and of course you create a lot of job employment. But we want to look at leadership at the level of the leading a state. Comes with a lot of tax, comes with a lot of duty. What are the capacities that you have that assures you that if you emerge as governor of this state, you could actually move the step forward?
Thank you. You know, people must accept the fact that the VAT we get from Abuja every month is not enough to sustain and run a state. Every person that is going to be a governor must think outside of the box, must be wealth creator. And in creating wealth, there must be transparency. The people, communities, international community, investors are looking for where there is trust, where there is confidence. Onuoha is a moving confidence. People trust me. People believe in me. People know whatever I tell them is what I'm going to do. Investors need to trust, need to have confidence in you. I have shown an example on how an investment can come into Abia. I set up Vision Africa almost 20 years ago here in Abia. The first private radio station in this part of the world. I can see and have shown how you can invest in Abia. So if I'm telling you that I'm going to create wealth, I have done one. I'm not asking people what I am going to do. I'm telling people, come and see what I do and how I do it. How are we going to make sure that the private sector is empowered and encouraged? If you do not encourage private sector to invest in your state, you are wasting your time. How is it that somebody coming from America, from UK, from Canada will say, if you are going to Nigeria, Abia is the destination? I have hosted hundreds and thousands of international people in Abia as a private person. The world is waiting for me to have the office of a governor. The economy will be flowing into Abia.
Obviously, the Lord Bishop is coming with a lot of economic plan. And you can see he has exposed to us that one of his strengths is the economy, developing the economy. And he has an experience and he has done one, as he has shown us. Bishop, we are still discussing. Of course, at the moment, the country has a lot of challenge. So your economic intelligence is very important to move the state forward and the nation also. Of course, we're in a time where our GDP is dropping, our naira is dropping. Now you find that a naira is equal to about 600 and something, a dollar is equal to about 600 and something naira. So we are moving backward every day. So economic plan is very important, and that is what we are looking at. You're also aware that the funds we are getting from Abuja at the moment cannot sustain what we are doing here. What else would you do to improve the economy of the state and to encourage investors?
Thank you. You know that the FAC is not enough to sustain the state. It's like a cashier system. You go to Abuja, you get 1 billion, you come back and share it among local governments and various government parastatals and contractors. Any person can do that. Mm-hmm. In fact, you don't need to go to school to get money and distribute it. Even my mother in the village knows how to do that very well. What distinguishes you as a governor is to look at how much you are getting. How much can you generate? We are a consumer society, and that is why what we are consuming, especially what we are importing, is laying so much weight on our naira. And so the naira is carrying more than it should carry. Abia has so many mineral resources in the 17 local governments. We harness them and create Abia as export zone. What are we doing about dry port in Onuoha, dry port in Abia North, and create Abia the state capital to be the center for Nollywood? Because Abia sons and daughters are the people who are excelling in the media industry, in the Nollywood. These things can give you immediate money. Our people are very smart. We create weight, we create resources, we create human beings. The issue is that we need to create atmospheres in which our people who are very creative will be encouraged, will be strengthened to express what their God-given talent and knowledge. And once we do it, we can export.
Okay, we're still looking at the plans of Bishop Sunday Ndukwo, who is the governorship candidate of the ADC in Abia State. We're still looking at his economic plans. We're still looking at his plans, not just economic plan. Let's move over to education. It seems that though our educational sector in Abia State is having some issues. You are aware what happened to Abia Poly. You are aware what happened to ABSUT, the Abia State Teaching Hospital. Their accreditation was withdrawn. You are also aware that Abia State Polytechnic, their accreditation was withdrawn. You are aware that ASATA, Abia State School of College of Education, Arochukwu, also is having issues in respect to salary payment. You're also aware that Abia State University at the moment now is at the backlog of about 10 months. Most of all these institutions, the challenge is meeting up to the wage bill of the workers. There are complaints that the workers and the number of workers is too much in these institutions. How would you handle these issues, and how would you make sure that our education sector is still on top gear.
It's unfortunate that we are suffering in the midst of plenty. One of the greatest assets that I bring to the table when I become the governor is that I will be a center for many people. You see, a situation whereby you have many professors from Abia, great brains who have made the best all over the world, and they don't see Abia as a place they can come and tap into. And that's what I talk about confidence. People will have confidence in me. The best brains assembled to address the gap that we have. Where is the educational plan? Who is implementing it? You can't just wake up and say salary or no salary. How many students do we have? How many are graduating in the next 2-3 years? And this is also tied to unemployment too. How many students are Abians who are in the university and tertiary institutions now? And by the time they are graduating, what is the employment plan for them? What is the kind of loan, soft loan, that you have for every student that is in the university? What is the payback plan for them? How are they going to refund the loans? Now, when you are talking about academic and academicians who, on their own, want to contribute and they are not paid salary, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and government is stranded, why can't there be an emergency on education? Create an emergency to resolve that. You must address it headlong, without leaving it for another generation to solve for you. How many students are we expected to have next year? What is the plan for those that are going into the university? How many professors do we have in the universities? Is it overbloated? How many people do we say that are our staff? Are they really those people? Do we really have those number of staff we claim that we have in our various universities? You see, one of the problems we have is that everybody is trying to protect his own small kingdom. And at the end of the day, no kingdom is left. Why can't we go into staff audit to find out who actually are those that we claim that are staff of the universities and higher institutions? It doesn't take science to do it. It takes question of having independent mind to come and do audit assessment of our educational system. The answer will be in your hand. Within the first 6 months when I become a governor, audit of our educational institutions will be done. You have the truth in your hand. Why do you borrow money that you don't know how to pay it? Before you borrow money, there must be a plan of how you are going to repay the loan. This is why some of those institutions are having problems.
Yes, we are still with Bishop Sunday Onuoha. Of course, he's giving us his insight as regards what he's going to do to turn around the educational sector. He has just assured us that within 6 months of coming in as governor, God's willing, that he's going to audit the educational sector and put the facts on the table and then look for ways to immediately resolve them so that we can have a smooth sail in our educational sector. Of course, we are challenged at the moment, but I believe that it can be resolved when great minds like Bishop Sunday Onuoha are involved in this development. We are looking at health, Bishop. We also have an institution they call ASUBEB. No, not ASUBEB. We have HMB, which is Health Management Board. They are also complaining about not being paid. Most of our hospitals at the localities are not functional at top gear. I'm aware that you've been involved in so many health missions. What is the way forward? How can we look at these issues holistically? How can we address it?
It's unfortunate that COVID came and we didn't learn any lesson from COVID. During the COVID experience, we discovered that we have nothing. And the COVID, quote and unquote, not that it's over, but I mean, the heat we had that time is almost down. It looked like everybody has forgotten. We realized during the COVID that there were no health system in our place. And people had challenges they have flown into other cities. So why can't we come back? How much are we squandering on trivialities that could go into building the correct, perfect health system? I am putting up 60-bed hospital in my part of Abia, and that hospital is going to one of the best in the southeast. Why can't we tie with the best people all over the world that are looking for a place to invest? Nigerians have the best medical practitioners all over the world, and they're looking forward to coming back to Abia to invest. What they're waiting for is to having a place and safe place to land. I have done free medical treatment. This year, Vision Africa is 25 to over 800,000 people. And what I discovered is every community you go, people are dying for sicknesses and diseases that people are not supposed to die for. Why are we wasting our resources on trivialities, flamboyant life? Can't we cut down the cost of governance and put it into health and education? The kind of money we waste on trivialities in governance is enough to take care of education and take care of health.
Yes, we're still with Bishop Sunday Onuoha. He has told us that we need to cut down on frivolities and invest more of our money in the issues that we have in the state. Let's look at infrastructure. That's another area where most of our people clamor that it seems as if our case is different. Because recently, most of the narrative that you hear people make now, even on radio, even on online, on social media, you see people referring us to Ebonyi. Go to Ebonyi. Go to Ebonyi. Ebonyi is a state that a few years back, nobody would have done that in referring Abia to Ebonyi. But today they're doing it. What is your plan in infrastructure? We have road issues. Yes, the current governor has tried his bit in trying to improve our infrastructure, but it seems as if we are still lagging behind so much. What is the plan?
Well, thank you. The truth is that we all know that maintaining our roads could be very expensive. But there's one problem. One of the problems we have is maintenance. Where is the maintenance culture? Sir, when I become the governor, I will make sure that every money that belongs to local government goes to local government. If every local government has budget, the money that should go to them goes to them. And there is a benchmark between this local government and this local government. This what percentage of money you will commit to roads. And there will be a master plan for the whole state, the road network. Each local government is held accountable. The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs monitors them to making sure that the money given to you, you use it. The Finance Department monitors them. And so each local government chairman is beginning to compete with the other local government chairman. Another local government is competing with the other local government chairman. And honestly, the World Bank is willing to come into a state that will honor standard. And they will invest and making sure that the networks of roads are built, ensuring there is a standard, ensuring that there is transparency, ensuring that government officials do not divert the fund. If you believe and accept the world and global standard, they will come.
Bishop, that's a very strong statement you just made a few minutes ago. You said that you would make sure that every fund that is meant for the local government is sent to the local government.
Exactly. It's their money. Okay, federal government, are they the ones spending state government money?
No.
So why can't we, if we are serious about governance, before somebody becomes local government chairman, you pray that the person should buy into the vision, and if the person is not buying into the vision, his own people in that local government will ask him question. Put everything at the table. How much is it that is coming into this local government this month? Publish it. And allow, this is where the traditional rulers and the president generals of various communities will work with the local government chairman to say, this is how much we got. How did you spend it? Let government go back to the people. And as a governor, you'll be happier.
Yes, that's a very strong word from Bishop Sunday Onuoha, who is the governorship candidate for ADC. He has assured Abians that if he emerges as governor, God's willing, that he will make sure that every kobo that belongs to the local government goes to the local government, while the local government citizens themselves will play a participatory role in making sure that every fund that is released to the local government is used and they can see it, they can attest to it. And Bishop, I must say, that is a very strong word. Participatory governance. We're in a system where if somebody emerges governor, he becomes untouchable, he becomes so busy, he no longer have time to interact with the people, he no longer... But one of your points here, you said you are going to strictly involve participatory governance, which means that the people will be involved. How do you intend to make this work?
You know, the last statement
because the governor is always very busy.
The last statement I just made, yes, the governor is very busy, he's supposed to be busy. If you don't want to be busy, why did you offer yourself to be elected as governor? If you are going to be lazy, don't offer yourself to be elected. Don't say people are troubling you too much, your phone is ringing too much. That's why you're elected, for your phone to ring. And you're elected to answer phone calls. You're elected to be with the people. You're elected to get the people involved and put their brain into the system. You see, part of the greatest problem you have in Abia today is that our great brains left and abandoned us because they don't feel included. There must be some level of higher level of inclusivism. Now, let me ask you, how much has Abia involved Okonjo-Iweala? How far have we brought people like Idika, all these great brains? Professor Joe is the best brain you have in Africa on insurance. You have great men and women who have built the global community. They are from Abia. Why have we not provided room for them to be involved in how Abia is governed? We have brain. How much have we involved the traditional rulers, not just to wear long clothes and show up during ceremonies and the waji, that's all. What is it that they are contributing? And these are great brains, traditional rulers. These were professors who have retired, who have become traditional rulers. How much have we involved? Some of them were VCs. How much have we involved them in our educational sector? These were people who enjoyed free education, who enjoyed education where it was standardized. Now, as things are crumbling, and these people are traditional rulers, you only invite them to break kola nut. Kola nut is wonderful, but why is their brain not tapped? Everybody has to be involved. Raise questions. Every governor should be happy when people are asking you questions. When people are holding you accountable, you should be happy that you have such people. You don't have dead brains.
That's a very interesting one, Bishop. I've been involved in so many interactions with Guba candidates, but I think this is more is refreshing at the moment as we keep discussing on these issues. Okay, let's also move into social welfare. In part of your bullet points and missions, you talked about social welfare. Social welfare is a process at which we meet to the needs of our people who are on the lower cadre. What is your plan in respect to that?
Well, thank you. You know, for more than 20 years, I've been patron for people with disability, especially in Abia, PWDs.
Yes.
Sir, when you see what these people pass through, what they go through to ache life, you weep. First and foremost, in our offices, have we made it easy for people with disability to go in easily? Do we have easy passage ramp that they can walk in easily? The blind, the lame, the crippled. What provision do we have in our budget so that those of them who have some, all of us have our disadvantages, but have some disability, we can make them compete very well in the Olympics, in the sports. Name it. Can we vote enough resources that will make them feel good? A lot of times I have provided my God-given resources to host them, to fund their program, help them attend the national program, rent vehicles for them, host their conferences in Abia for them, because I know they need it. What are we doing as a people? We've neglected them to nothing. As they're walking in, you put your head somewhere as if they are not human beings. They are human beings. When our young people are not employed, have we taken time to get the census of Abia young people that are not employed? What's the plan for them? Social welfare. What are we thinking about the real widows? Women whose husbands have died that are really suffering, who have 8 children, 7 children, and their husbands have died. What is the economic plan for those children? It was not their fault that their father died early, but they found themselves that. What is our plan as a people? We just behave as if without me nothing else. So when once I can eat, I can drink, everybody can go to hell. What is the plan? The education, as the media, we've involved in educating the Abians to know that you are your brother's keeper. When your brother is hungry, feed him. The Bible says it.
Yes, we are still interacting with Bishop Sunday Ndukwo Onuoha on Focal Point. He is the governorship candidate for African Democratic Congress in Abia State. Obviously, the interaction is getting more interesting by the minute and by the second. So let us look at another issue here. Of course, digital economy is one area that is now raking in millions of dollars. And you know that one of the challenges we have is that we don't have many sources at which even dollar is coming to this country. And one of the basic sources that we are getting dollar now is through digital economy. A lot of people do online transactions, online legitimate ones, which bring in dollars and so many. So the digital economy has become very important at this point in time. What is your plan?
You see, until we tie ourselves into the global economy and trend, you're wasting your time. Every family is tied to what is happening globally. People can sit down in their house in New York and transact business in Abia. What have we put in place in Abia that will make somebody to go into the system and transact business in Ariaria? This is Ariaria that is a multi-billion market. Why can't we create a system in which somebody who is in Dubai can, in his house, know that he can transact business in Ariaria and the business will go through and the services he needs is provided? Those people in the market need it. They need to understand it. They need to provide education first. Provide the system through which the businesses can grow. Tie people into corporations that will help to grow these small businesses. What has made China to grow is small businesses. When you go to China, you come to this building, this room, there may be 10 businesses here. Every person in his own small cubicle. When you walk in there, you're walking into a big warehouse where every transactions could be held. In Ariaria, we could make Ariaria the hub of the whole world before somebody arrives into Ariaria. It could be done. Nobody wants suffering. Everybody wants to be happy. Little education will do it.
Yes, we're still on this discussion where we've discussed a lot of things at the moment. We're still on that same discussion. This is Focal Point, and you have to remain here with us. Let's look at transparency. We have an issue where there is a particular fund, it's called security vote. And most times it's so opaque that people do not understand what exactly is security vote, how is it being spent and stuff like that. And generally, government seems to be opaque. Even when you are asking questions sometimes, it's as if you are causing problem. Transparency and accountability. Is there a way you could make it more visible? You could make people exactly look into the government and see what is happening and know exactly what's happening and be part of it.
Well, thank you. I think security vote, I've never been a governor, but having been in governance, I understand that security vote is the flexible fund that the chief executive has at his disposal in which he can make discretionary decisions in order to address challenges facing the state, in which he doesn't need to go back to the House of Assembly. The security vote, when once it is approved, then the governor can make that discretionary decision. Having a discretionary power doesn't mean rascality. It's not the same thing as not being transparent. It's not. It's public fund. Public fund, every dime must be accounted for. And when once the world knows that you are accountable, I am telling you, people from all over the world will move into your area, and you will see the economy will be flowing, and the life will be easier for you as a governor. Because when people know that the table is open, they will bring their thing to the table. They will know that they are safe.
Okay, we're still on this interaction with Bishop Sunday Onuoha, where we are looking at his plans, his intent, and what he wants to achieve, if God willing, he emerges as the governor of Abia State come 2023. At the moment, he is the gubernatorial candidate for African Democratic Congress, the ADC, a party that is strong and that is visible in Abia State at the moment. Bishop, the faith community, you have one bullet point there called Faith Community for Development. I don't understand. This is an idea which I would confess that I don't really understand.
I am
Bishop,
the first.
What does that mean?
I am the first. When people say, they say, man, I said, this is what I bring to the table. I am a bishop. I joined the ministry at the age of 18. And I'm 58, which means 40 years that I have been in the ministry. I have been involved in free medical services. I'm involved in prison services. Quite a lot of people inmates in Nigerian prisons are going through my scholarship for WAEC and degree programs. I'm involved in orphanage work. I have Vision Africa Waves. We have football club. We're registered, and some of our boys have been picked up to play in some other parts of the world. We have Icon, which is where we are raising younger generation, their voices to sing. Some of them have been picked up for labels all over the world. Days have gone when people think that the church is just meant to come and close your eyes to pray. The faith institution from the beginning were the people that provided education. And the standard education that the church provided was what gave birth to people like Nnamdi Azikiwe. Nnamdi Azikiwe attended Methodist institution. Obafemi Awolowo attended Methodist institution. These are men. Michael Okpara attended Methodist institution. Kanibiam, great church leader, who one of those founded Christian movement in Nigeria. These were the people that the church, the faith community molded. The faith community was intentional about what they are called to do. Unfortunately, at some point, it looks as if the faith community has left governance in the hands of people they call secular. We are church, we are righteous, so those are the ones that are sinners going to hellfire. No. I remember about 25 years ago in Atlanta, Papa Desmond Tutu, I was attending a conference from Atlanta, from Dallas, went to Atlanta for a conference consultation about 25 years ago. Bishop Desmond Tutu asked me, Reverend Sunday, I wasn't Bishop, the Reverend Sunday, now that Nigeria is working towards and thinking and working about the democracy, which political party are you going to join? I said, oh my God, political party. Me, Reverend, going to do political party. I said, sir, I'm not going to do politics. No. He said, stop it. Stop it. I am a member of ANC. We are fighting for the liberation of South Africa. We are involved. I am a registered member of my political party. Let me tell you, if African church leaders and the clergy refuse to be involved in politics, very soon, idiots will be ruling us.
That's a very strong one.
Very strong word. And so I want to ask you today, what's happening to us?
Bishop is asking the reporting. What is happening to us?
I want to ask you, because this is the time that the media will interrogate. What's happening? We need to ask ourselves the question. The faith community should wake up. God will hold faith community accountable that you are busy sleeping in your church, closing your eyes to pray. No, this is the time to say, open your eyes and let us pray. No more time to close your eyes to pray. Enough. You have closed your eyes enough. Wake up. Rise to rescue this land. If we don't do it, God will hold us responsible.
This is the time not to close your eyes and pray, but to open your eyes and pray. That's what Bishop said. That's a very strong line. And I think every church leader should imbibe that and see how to. And obviously, recently, it seems to be there's a political sensibility within the churches. Church leaders are beginning to rise up. They are beginning to make statements. Is that encouraging?
It's encouraging. Some of us started it early. We've been crying that you cannot be indifferent on how you are governed. The Bible says the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. The scripture does not tell me that the earth belongs to the devil. This earth does not belong to the devil. It belongs to God. He is the creator. Politics on its own is divine assignment. If God has called you into it, treat it the way you treat your sacred things. Because we have treated politics, the things of the world, earthly things, the devilish things. And so the devil has taken over. And we are begging the devil to please leave us alone.
Bishop, thank you very much. Okay, let's go to agriculture. Of course, I used to remember when I was a younger boy, when we stay in Kanu, whenever we come back December, and you see a lot of these women coming to our family house, bringing gari for us. All those things it's disappearing. They are finding it even difficult to even get gari themselves. Because agriculture is one area that is very important to me, and I think very important to Abians. What is your plan?
You know, in the 60s, 1964, that's the year I was born, Nigerian economy was the fastest growing economy in the world. 1964. And what made it the fastest growing economy in the world was the Southeast. And that was Okpara's administration. That was when you have all these settlements, palm settlement. That was what made us the fastest growing economy in the world. Malaysia, their greatest export is palm oil. They took their palm fruit from here in Abia. That was where they came. And they were taught about the palm trees, palm frond, how to grow it. They took it from my land here in Abia to Malaysia. And that is what is giving them, that is what is growing, sustaining the economy of Malaysia. And we are here, behaving as if we didn't know what made us great before. If and when I'm elected governor, I'll bring Israel's government. They have the best strategy in agriculture. They will come down here, have relationships. Israelis grow their crops on the hills and mountains and the rocks. When you go to Israel, you see it. We have the fertile land. We have the opportunity. Why are we not utilizing it? Why are we only depending on oil when we can grow our agriculture and find a way of exporting it?
That's a good one. Bishop, let's now move to one of the areas that is of concern to so many Abians and entire Nigeria as a whole. Of course, you are aware the rising insecurity in this country, from the north to the west to the south to the east. Everywhere have a peculiar issue that is happening to them. If you go to Zamfara today, thousands of people have been killed. As at this moment, Abuja, the FCT, the federal capital of Nigeria, is under severe threat at the moment. And even here in Abia, yesterday there was a bank convoy were attacked. Somebody was killed and money was looted. Kidnapping is prevalent in Ndukwo Onuoha axis. So it's as if everywhere is unsafe. And there are opinions of people that state police can resolve it, this and that. What is your plan?
It's very painful. If you recall, it was almost 3 years ago that I cried out that if nothing happens, if we don't wake up, that a time will come when Aso Rock will not be safe.
At this moment it is.
I said it 4 years ago, and it looked as if it was just one reverend trying to cry wolf when there was no wolf. People are pulling out the statements I made 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, pulling them out. You said this, you said this. It's because we are in a system where we think, well, once I'm safe, no problem. When this problem started in the north, everybody felt, oh, it's happening in the north. People were not willing to rise. When people like General Jirika, Nigeria owes General Jirika big apology. That general did everything to contend Boko Haram. They all ran around and conspired against him and said he must be removed. Immediately he was removed. Everybody was loose free. The Boko Haram got few today. They went, some people even said that he was killing their people. See where we are today. The point is that I just can't understand why we have a commander-in-chief and he's not commanding. Our commander-in-chief must command. The whole thing stops at his table. There is no way Mr. President can look at our faces as Nigerians and tell us that he cannot manage the situation. That is why we voted for him. Nigeria didn't vote for Buhari because of his economic plan. He didn't tell anybody that he has economic strategy. People said, well, we are having problem with Jonathan. The insecurity is rising. Let's get a general that will handle it. That's why many Nigerians voted for him. He should not leave that office until he deals with it. He should not leave.
Bishop, you say he's tired.
No, he should do it. That's why we voted for him. They should not impeach him. I heard the other day they said, I saw on the newspaper, on social media, the senator said they will impeach. Don't impeach him. Let him solve that security problem. That's why we voted for him. He should go nowhere. Bishop can't be tired.
Bishop is saying that President Muhammad Buhari shouldn't go anywhere.
He should fix it.
Despite he has expressed that he's tired, he can't wait to go back home.
Go back where?
But Bishop is saying he should fix it.
He should fix it.
He should fix this problem before he goes.
Before he goes.
That is his main promise to Nigerians. And that is why Nigerians vote. So he should make sure
that's the only thing.
And I'm supporting Bishop here. Fix it, please, Mr. President. Fix it. And the president went to Liberia to give lecture on.
I saw that thing. I was laughing. When the house is on fire, he's lecturing people how to deal with security. When we have not managed our own security, they could have gone to my village to look for one village woman to go and give that lecture.
Okay, Bishop, let's look at homegrown security. Of course, we have our own peculiar issues here. We have kidnapping here, and I saw a video some time ago, what happened in Onuoha, where somebody was kidnapped, and police officers landed. When they landed, they were shouting, "Go and get the community youth, go and get the community, let's go to the bush." I say, how can police officers be telling you?
It's a defeatist style.
Homegrown, what would be your plan? We have homeland security. We also here we have a Bubago, though I've not seen anyone.
You say Bubewu?
What? What is the plan? Security.
Well, thank you. You know, sometimes we talk too much without backup plan. You see, in Igbo land, we have our own indigenous way of maintaining security. There is no community where strangers come in that you don't know. What are we doing with our traditional rulers? The security vote should also go to them. That's part of security vote. The president generals of communities. I have been president general. I was president general of Item for 11 years. I work with traditional rulers. How we maintain peace and security in Item is a template. I will give it to Abia State, how it is done. And I can tell you, our communities will be maintained. The society will be safe. Our community youths are ready to rise and defend their communities, but they need the backup of government. They don't want when they rise, you leave them alone. Our forests are not safe. Our women cannot go to farm because those places they used to go and plant cassava, plant ogo, plant maize, they cannot go. If they go, they are raped by idiots. And so, this is why there is a food security and food insecurity in the land. And so, if we empower our young people, we empower our hunters, they are in the forest, they are in the bush. If you encourage them, those bad boys will be fished out. I can tell you, we have the capacity to do it.
Bishop is assuring us that the capacity to do it, to checkmate the wave of crime in our community is on ground. That with him being elected, that he can do it. Bishop, international relation and development agencies. Of course, it will not be wrong if I say you're an international guy. Because you've been here, you've been in America, you've been almost everywhere, reaching out, interacting. What would all those experiences, all those contacts that you have amassed over time, how would they affect directly in this our state?
Thank you. Good enough. I am a homegrown young man.
Yes.
Who was a tailor in Aba as a growing young boy, who was a woodpecker in Aba as a growing young boy, and who was a farmer in my village, Item. And so I know the needs on ground. And God in his infinite mercy took me out all over the world to see the world as it is and how you can tie the international relations to local relations. And I have managed donor agencies. I have managed USAID Fund, I have managed Global Fund, I have managed World Bank Fund. These are the things I have done myself to know what is required in order for the donor agencies and the international community to release their resources to you. In my language, I say Okbo Bonyenganga. Okbo, money is a jealous thing. Where there is poverty, money does not go there. Where wealth is afraid of its safety, it does not go there. So it is with donor and international agencies. Where they feel safe, they move like Nama, straight, and invest there. And we have our diaspora. Incidentally, I invested Vision Africa here in Abia State diaspora. And I know what the Abians who are in America and London and Europe, I mean everywhere, Canada, what they are waiting for. They need soft landing ground to bring in their resources and invest here. Let me tell you, where you have 100, 200 Abians that bring in $50,000 into 200, how much is it? The resources will be there. People will be employed. Mechanics will work. Bricklayers will work. Some of our young people want to come and invest in real estate. They have the resources. Standard. They know that if they bring their resources, it will be safe. And they know when they are coming in, that it is safe to come into Abia. They will come. Some of them, their children were born outside of the country. Their children want to come back and know their father's home country. They are crying. But they don't feel safe coming. I will create an avenue where those are our sons and daughters will come back home. It will be called homecoming.
It will be called homecoming. That is the word, and that's the punchline in this our discussion. Okay, Bishop, let's go to the national scene, where you've been involved in so many negotiations, so many things to make sure this our country is secured. You've been involved in interfaith activities where other faiths come together to move this nation forward. Let's look at the IPOB agitation. At the moment, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. And recently, United Nations advised Nigerian government to release him and let him go. You've also been involved in organizing Igbo leaders to visit the president to talk about the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why are you doing this? What will be the effect if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released? What is the way forward of the agitation?
Well, thank you very much. I am involved in interfaith because this is a multi-religious society, multicultural society. And if you are to play at the international game, national level, you must be able to respect others so that they can respect you. I want a Muslim to honor me. And if I want a Muslim to honor me, I will honor a Muslim. If I want my faith to thrive without any person molesting people of my faith, I should also respect others. Let their faith not be molested. When you have peaceful setting, you realize that people will respect you more. I have many brothers and sisters who are from the southeast, who are resident in Maiduguri, Kano, Zamfara, Sokoto. My attitude towards my Muslim brothers and sisters make them safer. You're looking at the big picture. When my Muslim brothers and sisters see me among the same Muslim brothers and sisters and they go back to those core north and they see people from the southeast, they will view them from my perspective. So in being involved in interfaith, I am indirectly protecting my own people. Secondly, in being involved in interfaith, it also tells the whole world, as I traveled the whole world to speak about mutual respect. In Dubai, I was a panel speaker on the Year of Tolerance. That was 2 years ago. It was a great outing. I wore my bishop's robe. Others wear the clerical, the Islamic dresses. And I spoke about what it means for people to have relationships on interfaith. My picture is hung on United Nations as somebody who is the champion on interfaith. In Malaysia, I was given Global Peace Award as somebody who has championed interfaith in many parts of the world. And that is my calling. And I'm doing it that it is the right thing to do. People must never believe the way I believe before I respect them. People must never behave the way I behave. People must never wear this clerical before I call them pastor. There are pastors who don't wear clerical. So whatever faith I have chosen is my own faith. Even people who decide not to have faith at all should be honored and respected. And this is why when people go into this brouhaha of faith or no faith, it makes me angry. Can we see people first and foremost as human beings, made as human beings? Our humanity is superior to religion. Our humanity is superior to whatever we decide to worship, however we want to dress up. So that is important to me. And if we respect our common humanity, we should also know that in the society, there are people who will behave like Nnamdi Kanu. There are people who will behave some other ways, whose attitude towards the society will be a bit radical, as long as they are not carrying weapons. It's not been proved that Nnamdi Kanu has carried a weapon. He is somebody calling for a referendum. And I've even asked Nigerians, who tells you if you go to referendum, what will be the outcome? Why not be bold and go to referendum and see what the outcome will be? Referendum is a question of asking people, what do you want?
Yes.
Let people tell us what they want. Why are we afraid of asking people to tell us what they want? Why are we afraid? Let's throw it open for people to tell us what they want. So the reason why myself, Papa Mbazulika Mechi, and a few others went to president, there was high tension in the land. And young people are angry. Some people from the southeast are angry. And it looks like as if most of our leaders were not speaking out. And we decided that we cannot be by the side. The best thing is to meet with Mr. President and make a demand. And the demand is very simple. Hand him over to us. Can we please agree? Can we have political solution to the problem? Legal solution, we hardly come on time. Can we have political solution? We said this last year. At the end of the day, United Nations has just echoed what we said. And I wish Mr. President had listened to us that time. This tension would have calmed down. Right now, you have many people calling themselves all kinds of names that IPOP has denied that they are not part of their groups. So, release the young man, give him to our hands, and let's see what will happen. So people said he jumped bell the first time and asked them, he was in his father's house. You brought all kinds of military to attack him in his father's house. When you attacked his father's house, what did you see in his father's house? Did you see even any knife or cutlass in his father's house? You said he jumped back. Who will not run when you are pursuing him in his own father's house? So as far as I'm concerned, we are one family. In a family, we are bound to have misunderstanding. We are bound to disagree. Even the teeth and the tongue sometimes disagree. Did you throw one away?
No.
They still reconcile and still eat the food and swallow it. So, yes, there is bound to be misunderstanding. That has happened. Let's come back to the round table and ask ourselves, what is the way out? How can we solve this problem? Nobody should be big enough not to come to the table. We must come to the table to discuss. Nigeria, in 1966, went to Aburi, had a round table conversation, had an accord, came back to Nigeria and disagreed over the accord. When they disagreed, they should have gone back to Aburi again to continue the conversation. Rather, they went into avoidable civil war for 3 years that killed over 3 million Igbos. Avoidable. Therefore, roundtable is the option.
Roundtable is the option. That is the position of our respected clergy, Bishop Sunday Ndukwo Onuoha. We are rounding up our interaction today, and you know this is Focal Point. Here we discuss on political issues and trending issues with respected Nigerians and Abians. Thank you so much, sir. Let's still go on a final note. I want you to, a lot of Abians seems to be despair. There are issues of INEC registration. We're at the ending point. A lot of them seems to be losing hope, even in the States. What will be your final advice and encouragement to Abians as regards this state and 2023?
Don't lose hope. Bishop Onuoha is coming. I am coming. And God has called me. And God asked, and the people ask, who shall I send and who shall go for us? And I said, here am I. Send me. And you Abians know that with Bishop Onuoha, there will be transparency, there will be joy, there will be fellowship. People will come back home and feel safe in their homeland.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it, sir.
Blessings.
This is the end of our program today. My name remains Emen Kerebu. Of course, this is Focal Point. Always follow us on all our social media handles, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, on all handles. Make sure you always follow us, watch all our videos, and drop your comments, your feedbacks. We highly desire them. Thank you, and God bless. Thank you. Bishop.